And a good evening to you, rugby fans. Welcome to Founders Field in the Orange City, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, where National Collegiate Rugby brings you a Friday Night Rugby. It is an all-Hawks matchup. Indiana University of Pennsylvania's Crimson Hawks get set to take on Miami University of Ohio's Red Hawks. I am John Brokard with a dose of rugby realism, joined by Pat Clifton. Pat, wonderful day, a wonderful event, wonderful setting.
Absolutely. It's a gorgeous night here in Pittsburgh at Founders Field, one of the top and early dedicated facilities for rugby in all of the country. A lot of championship ball has been played here, and tonight it's going to be the scene of a little Allegheny Rugby Conference action. This could be a preview of the championship match coming later this November 4th. We've got IUP, the two-time defending Sevens national champions, one of the favorites out of the North, going up against the Miami of Ohio Red Hawks, one of the favorites out of the South. Both of these teams undefeated in their division coming into this matchup. It should be a great one.
Exciting, great teams, lots to talk about. A lot of high school rugby experience on these teams. We'll talk about that from the great programs out there. Right now, let's take a look at the lineup. We're going to start with Miami of Ohio. Pat, tell us about some of these players.
Well, the big fella up front, Zach Fittishin, wearing number 3 on his back, is definitely one to look out for. He was one of 3 players on this Red Hawks team to represent the Great Lakes Thunderbirds in the National Collegiate Rugby All-Star Championship earlier this year down in Texas, and he is one of the outstanding players. He was actually coached by Seth Irwin. He was part of the Great Lakes staff, so some of these Red Hawks going against their former All-Star coach tonight. And another one of those guys is Chris Matthews, the fly half. He played at St. Ignatius, one of the vaunted high school programs in the country there out of Cleveland, Ohio. He is another all-star to look out for in the back line. And also Nick Curis coming off the bench as well, another all-star so deep that he's coming off the bench.
Good setup here, Miami of Ohio. Let's now take a look at the Crimson Hawks. Indiana University of Pennsylvania have some well-dressed fans, but let's talk about their players.
Absolutely. There's a lot of studs on this team, including McNulty there at 6. But my eyes in the pack are on Cam Taylor, a very athletic prop up there at number 1, loose head. Look for him to do a lot of damage tonight in the loose, in the breakdowns, and in the set piece. Moving on over to the backs. Everything for IUP and the Crimson Hawks runs through RJ Beach, the senior captain, All-American. He missed one of the national championship runs in sevens because of a broken ankle. He would like to be one of the first national championships, restoring glory on the 15 side for the Crimson Hawks. They finished second last year. Look for him. And, of course, Dom Holmes at the outside center position. He is a wrecking ball for them, one of the former sevens MVPs during their national title runs.
You have heard that from the man himself right there, and great reserves bench as well, Pat.
Yeah, Curis is one of those guys to look out for, and then Madden is one of the guys on the other side, is another guy to look out for as well.
Great reserves going to be coming on later in the game to carry this. Before the game, we had a chance to talk with IUP's head coach, Seth Irwin.
Boys look hungry. I think we're healthy-ish. We come out and just do what we're good at, play defense, control the pace, and keep our heads. I think we'll be pretty good. It's weather a storm, whether that first 15, 20-minute storm, film out, and then find where we're weak at and start attacking.
Absolutely.
Founders Field, this is going to be a great matchup. Take a look right there at IUP is going to be wearing the black and running from right to left, it looks like, on the field. Ohio. Right, we'll get to that as we get going. That game ready to go here. Good referee to take control of this matchup. Hawk getting warmed up here. Players excited to play here at Founders Field. A little trip for both these teams, Pat, but well worth it to play in a facility like this.
Oh, yeah, this is a fantastic facility. There's been several 15s national championships, 7s national championships played here. A fantastic park, so it's a big one tonight. IUP is going to have all their home fans here, and you're the Miami Reds. It's a fantastic place to play as well, and welcome your home fans here, and of course people watching all over Ohio and all over the country tonight on Friday Night Rugby.
Friday Night Rugby, and it's a doubleheader going on here. We have Penn State versus Pitt, a women's matchup after this one, so stay tuned. Pat and I will be bringing you that exciting matchup as well. Plenty of rugby here on a Friday in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Just waiting for the ref to get himself sorted. We're going to kick this one off. Be another great matchup after this one, Pat. Pitt and Kent State, two local teams.
Yeah, Allegheny Rugby Conference represented. Division I women's matchup later. And then, of course, we got the Division II men's matchup here. IUP, one of the favorites to win the Division II men's national championship. Finished second last year to Principia, which is moved up to Division I. So the Crimson Hawks, #1 preseason, #1 right now.
Crimson Hawks, we said, are going to be in the black, running from left on your screen. That is referee Patrick Fight. Referee Fight joined by Eric Press and Sebastian Ratti on the assistant referee job. And we are set to get underway as it is Santino Fiscio. Get to one of the air, and in white with red, coming from left right on your screen, is going to be Miami, University of Ohio. They take this one in, quickly to a waiting pod on that left-hand side. Power across the game line, no problem there. Going to be a big part of the game, but early nerve spills one forward. Referee Fight sees it. Saw a little intent there from Miami, Ohio. But supported by that, or those early nerves, Pat, to be a scrum here to the Crimson Hawks.
Yeah, that's right. Early nerves for sure. These teams, despite being a conference matchup, this is Miami. They and all of the teams in the South Division of the Allegheny are new to the conference. These teams did not play last year. They haven't played for a little while. And so it's new teams, a lot of big stakes. And, of course, Friday Night Rugby. Everybody's watching at home. So we got a couple of knock-ons for sure. That Friday Night Rugby curse is still at play.
RJ Beach set to get one in. We're the number 9 there, the senior from New Kensington, Pennsylvania. Went to Burrell High School, studying human development at IUP, playing scrum half for their rugby team here. Ready to get underway. Referee Fight just wants to make sure everything is cool. They're going to get this underway. Safety first in these scrums. Beach gets that one in. It's at feet of stalling. Scrum down just a bit, but referee says, let's play. Ball out there to Fiscio. Fiscio feeds a waiting runner. The starter move here from the Crimson Hawks. Go again, finds the runner in the midfield. They're going to keep working this left-hand side, it looks like. The runner's coming around. They go back the other way. Beach is going to look to the right. Let's see what they've got set up. They've got a waiting pod there with Cameron Taylor at the front. 5'11", 230-pound junior. Takes that one into contact. Little slow ball, so Beach just chips one over the top. Right at the 22 there. Where will it roll? Rolls into the hands of a Miami, Ohio player, but outside of the 22. Taken in there by Bart Glancy. Glancy gets it back, and here come the forwards again. A little rework of what we just saw at the beginning of the game. And a penalty this time against IUP. So it's the opportunity here for Miami, Ohio. Mason Craddock ball in hand. He's going to hand it over. Cooler heads prevail. They're going to try to push this one downfield for some territory.
IUP is used to bullying some of their teams in the breakdown, some of their opponents, and the Reds are really standing up to it so far early on.
Probably no love lost in this game as that one doesn't find touch. But back in the hands of the Crimson Hawks. Crimson Hawks get it to some of their forwards. Forwards are making a little bit more ground this time. You see the midfield right there. 50 yards to go. Ball bounces over Fiscio's head, but they push that one out, losing some ground. It's in the hand of Stalling, the number 8, out in a little bit of a wider channel. Tries to push it into one of his teammates. Knocks it on. However, Miami, Ohio has a knock-on advantage. Referee Fight doesn't see anything. We're going to come back. It'll be a scrum here for Miami, Ohio, just inside the 22 of IUP.
Early days still, lots to. It's too early to come to any conclusions, that's for sure. But so far, Miami is really coming to play, making good decisions around the park, making fewer mistakes, and the Crimson Hawks just cannot hold on to this ball whatsoever.
A little defensive pressure coming on from the Red Hawks. It is challenge for them to work against this kind of a defense.
Oka's already in. 2 scrums in a row, okay? Stay back.
Ohio, that one goes down. They're going to set this one up again. Craddock has ball in hand, the sophomore from Hudson, Ohio. For the All-Ohio Aviators before coming to Miami, Ohio, joining these Red Hawks. See that fly half set out wide there is Chris Matthews. Booty at number 8. Actually, wearing number 18 there as Kouris takes it off the back, so it is not the guy wearing the number 8. Little switch there. Kouris takes it from the number 8 roll. Good work. Just make a couple of yards. They've set this one. Try to get their pattern working. Big collisions coming early in this game. Coming across here, Craddock. Little attempted offload there, doesn't work. A little hectic play from both sides here, trying to just do a little too much rather than just set up their pattern and get it going. Looking to come wide are the Crimson Hawks. Crimson Hawks work across their own 22. Going to have to get this one to the ground. Not in touch if they can help it, but it does anyway. It's going to be first line of the game here to Miami, Ohio.
Maybe guilty of just playing a little bit too much rugby in their own end there, the Crimson Hawks. It's a big break here for Miami. They've had a couple of set pieces already in the attacking end. Great platforms to score from. See if they can make good on this one.
Red, set up here for me. Black, right here.
Players in the line out there. You see Nick Curis, you were talking about it before, the supply chain major from Glenview, Illinois. Trier High School where he played. Cannot handle that line out, however. It rolls back to the Crimson Hawks. They're right near the touchline again. See if they can keep this one in. This would just be another line out closer to their try line for Miami, Ohio, and they will get that, Pat. Another opportunity, another bite at the apple for the Red Hawks.
Yeah, not a lot of mystery here to the Curis, or to the Red Hawks line out. Curis is the only jumping candidate that they really have. He's got both of the props shaped to him right now. It seems pretty obvious for IUP where the ball's going.
He just scooped that one away, but it gets knocked on off the deflection. So better opportunity scrum here for Miami, Ohio. They have been in this end for quite a lot of this game. Let's see if they can convert here. Scrum about 8 meters out from the Crimson Hawks line.
Not an easy exit. A lot of teams like to get one or two phases in to try to buy a little bit of space and time. Shaped to him right now. It seems pretty obvious for him to make the kick. You see there on the line out, just poked away from IUP.
Miami, Ohio scrum here, so attacking deep inside their zone. Ball's down there. Craddock moves it away. Little dummy show, looking for the line. Not finding it, having to reset that one. Craddock's going to keep it coming around. Sideways run there. Player gets swallowed up. IUP trying to roll over that one. His space opens up in the middle. They're right over the try line. Are they there? Referee says yes, and Miami, Ohio takes the first 5 points of the game. Looks like number 12, Ryan Kellogg, touched that one down. Excellent work, Miami, Ohio, drawing first blood.
Number 1 in the country, down right now to right here, Miami, Ohio, in the Reds. That's Ryan Kellogg from St. Louis, Missouri. Played for the St. Louis Junior Billikens as a state champion in Missouri last year. Fantastic player. Got to watch him play in that championship final myself. Just great continuity here from the Reds. And then Kellogg sees not enough black bodies around that, not enough black jerseys around that breakdown. Plenty of space, picks it, runs right at the goalpost. Easy score for Miami University. They've got too many opportunities, too many set pieces in the attacking end, and they've so far got the number 1 team in the country down a try here early on.
Put the pressure on, they certainly are. They came to play here at Founders Field. The Miami, Ohio Reds lining up the kick here. Spencer Sizemore, the first-year player from Hudson, Ohio. No problem with that one. And we're 7-0 Miami, Ohio leads early on in this Friday Night Rugby matchup. IUP is going to have to answer. I'm sure Seth Irwin will be a little frustrated with this start, Pat.
Yeah, for sure. Your defense is what he prides himself on. Talked to him earlier this week, and that's what he talked about in the preseason conversation, or the pre-match interview there on the sideline. That's what he talked to me in our pre-match conversation. Defense is a big pride of the Red Hawks, and that is definitely not something he expected to take on the chin here.
Ishio to get us going, the sophomore from Pittsburgh, PA. So he's right at home here. Played for West Allegheny Rugby Club, West A, as they call themselves. Ball down to Miami, Ohio. Little wind in their sails the moment. Get the ball up. Craddock feeds that weak side again. They found some purchase over here early on in this game. Just 8 minutes gone. They'll launch this one downfield. They would prefer to play in the IUP end. The hands of Indiana University of Pennsylvania. Slicing through one defender. IUP has to roll them back. A little bit of sevens rearing its head here early on. The ball gets out to width. Taken in there by Chase Brooks. Brooks has it stalling with him. Stalling has a lot of work to do. Good work coming in from this Miami, Ohio team. Almost a good turnover there for Miami, Ohio, but taken back by IUP. Put pressure on the breakdown here are the Red Hawks. It is paying off for him, causing all sorts of trouble for this Crimson Hawks team, Pat.
Yeah, RJ Beach is having a heck of a time. He's both having to ruck and stave off 2 or 3 counter ruckers for Miami and try to get the ball out of the breakdown at the same time. Not an easy job. Miami is bringing the heat. You know, you'd think that playing at home, #1 team in the country, the Crimson Hawks would be coming out hot on their heels, and it looks like the Red Hawks just playing with a little bit more sense of urgency here early on.
Bind. Set.
Big drive from Miami, Ohio this time. A referee fight. Just going to bring that one back. It says it went down. Not illegally from either side, so they'll reset this one. But look at the scrums as well as Miami, Ohio. They certainly came here with some intensity in mind, Pat.
Absolutely. Bill Griffiths is longtime head coach for Miami, Ohio. Stepped away from the program and then now is back under the helm this year. So you can see some of the old school mentality in this team, really tough, physical. So far, great in the scrum, great in the breakdown. Shown through coaching style.
Bind. Set. Hold.
Beach gets that one a little more stable this time. You can see addition. Number 3 was a little cranked up there for Miami, Ohio, but running now are the IUP Red Hawks. Little break up the middle, across the midfield they go. That was nearly a high tackle. This man is just doing it all on his own right now. No problem there for Dominic Holmes. Dominic Holmes takes it about 70 meters, then breaks it away for his teammates to keep rolling forward. Good pressure coming from IUP at the moment. Look to have some runners wide if they can move the ball out here. Slows down just a touch. Put a little wraparound move in there. Nice break. Try line is ahead. Player just flipped there. Yeah, they go. Good pressure. A little back inside pass there. The line about 2 meters out. Pick and go. Across they go. Try awarded, and it is getting closer. Answering well after a few minutes here are the Crimson Hawks of IUP.
Yeah, what a great series of play there. Of course, started off by the line break from Dom Holmes. He must have beat half of the state of Ohio, deeply gashing the Red Hawks deep into the 22. And then from there, IUP was just on the front foot. Miami constantly having to move back with every tackle and every offside line set. And the defense could never get organized. They could never come off that line. And on their heels, it's hard to catch the IUP Crimson Hawks coming downhill. And that's exactly what happened here. Just a few phases after a great individual effort from that outside center. Dom Holmes, his teammates punching it over. The quick picks, they work, especially when the defense is retreating. And it did here for IUP.
Getting set up. Level the scores is IUP. Stakis launches that one up. Assistant referees say it's good. We're tied at 7 here at Founders Field at National Collegiate Rugby's Friday Night Rugby, living up to its billing. There's Ishio, try scorer there. Ishio, the sophomore out of Pittsburgh we talked about just a minute ago. All-conference player, Mark Davis scholarship recipient. 4th year of rugby. Ohio, a little slower.
Showing us why they're the #1 ranked team in the country. That's what we like to see from a championship team. Not a lot of panic, just good, calm stoicism.
You guys are welcome to catch the conversion.
They know what they can do. And that time they attacked from about 80-plus meters out and got their score, and it looked really easy after starting the first 10 minutes playing on their heels.
Chris Matthews gets us going. Another one of those St. Ignatius players here for Miami, Ohio. Ball goes back to Fischio. Getting dropped a bit here by the Crimson Hawks. Looking for a surprise. Beach is going to be able to work his way forward into the middle of the field there, but nearly ripped away by the Red. Tip pass there, just hanging on to it. Getting out to the big boy there. Cameron Taylor takes a couple to bring him down. He's got a large contingent of Miami, Ohio players taking him to the ground. Find another runner just out wide. He comes back into McNulty. Indiana, Pennsylvania. Warrior. And just back on their own 22. Little chip ahead, using a lot of tools in the arsenal are IUP. AP able to hang on to that one. Look, it's open here, but Beach is going to get there in time. Beach moves it across, get a little more width this time. You can see a couple of waiting pods out there. This Miami, Ohio defense have to move themselves out, and they do. Little space opens up there. Fischio happy to take it. Fischio gets to the 40-meter line. Throws a little offload there, I suppose you could call it. Bit of a wide pass coming from Fischio. These players from IUP are not afraid to throw the ball around. Beach looking for room. He hands off one. Beach goes again. Beach is across the 22. Puts the pass in. Is it a finishing pass? Yes, it is. IUP answering under 15 minutes with 2 tries. Good right there. Nice work by Beach to feed that ball out.
Great job by the Crimson Hawks. This offense is a little bit like a Ferrari on like a wet turf or a wet track. It takes them a second to get going. They might spin their wheels, but once they get some front foot, once they move forward and break that gain line, they are off to the races. When they're moving backwards, this Miami defense has done a good job of blanketing them and suffocating them. But they switch direction a couple times. RJ Beach gets a handoff. They break the line, and as soon as they break the line, they do it in droves, and it's 1 or 2 or 3 phases later they score, just like the first time.
Ryan or Nickel gets that one. Beach here just shows, comes through, pushes off one player. Good, strong player is Beach. Gets to the 22, and Hornicle is just out there, and no problem. Going to glide in for this one. Great work by the winger.
It's a heck of a fend for a scrum half. You don't usually see a scrum half Derrick Henrying somebody to the ground like that. That's RJ Beach. When he was down with the broken ankle, he was not skipping any time on the bench press.
You're 15 now.
Look, that one is good as well. 7. When we talk about weathering that storm, Pat, it looks like they've weathered it just a little bit there. I start to get the ride here.
Yeah, IUP, they've certainly turned it on here. Miami, they've got to bring the intensity back. They've got to be fast off the line. And that last possession, IUP did a good job of chipping over the top of that blitzing defense, which is the right tactical move, and they executed there, but it's not easy to do. Miami has to ask more of them to do that. They have to make them execute that skill over and over again. Keep putting the Crimson Hawks under pressure.
Advantage.
Ball comes across. That space opens up. Adjust again. The runner at the front of that pod. Referee spots an offside. Whoever referee fight sees that, so it's going to be a penalty here for IUP. Taylor has ball in hand. We'll see what he decides they want to do with the ball.
You see your loose head prop taking the kick for touch.
I was waiting to see if he was just going to tap that one and go, but Taylor's going to let loose, kick that one downfield. They're going to put some pressure on right now. Drew Roach has to come up with it. Drew Roach, a sophomore from Akron, Ohio. They're able to recycle that ball, get it back into the hands there of Sizemore. Sizemore gets it out, but it hits the ground. It's in IUP hands right at the 22 again. Will they be able to take it 3 trips to the 22 and come away with tries? We'll see. They've got a penalty advantage right now from a referee fight. They're going to come off to this right-hand side. Ishio steps into that distributor role.
Penalty advantage still, Black.
Looking for some runners, sticking with some of the pods here. Taken in there by Dylan McNulty, the junior from Indiana, Pennsylvania. Nice big break there. Try coming here. It's going to be the big man, Cameron Taylor. Cameron Taylor sees a little space in that defense. Scoops that one up. He's in for a try. Cameron Taylor, 5 points.
I tell you what, if you're going to miss his touch as bad as Cameron Taylor did, you can make up for it by sprinting down the field, making the tackle on the kick, then hitting a ruck, having a high work rate, and then scoring a try a couple of phases later. What a make-up play by Cam Taylor. You can tell he's a competitor, angry by his missed kick to touch, and just hustles the big man down here. Johnny on the spot, sees the Reds sleeping a little bit, not having anybody. He's in position around the breakdown. And try catching him on the loose when you're standing still, sitting in a chair, and he is running at you. It's not going to go well for you. Cameron Taylor, athletic play for him. Fantastic showing so far here early on.
Yeah, tremendous intelligence right there, right? He's just standing around that ruck and sees that space open up. Somebody just misses their defensive assignment. Taylor had no problem, just scoops it and goes right into the try zone. Intelligent work there, Cameron Taylor. We wait for the kick. Pretty straightforward here. Would put them to 21-7. As we're just rolling into 19 minutes gone in this matchup. Little chip kick there. That one is no good. So we'll remain at 19-7 IUP leads Miami, Ohio, here on Friday Night Rugby, brought to you by National Collegiate Rugby, of course. We said stay tuned. Doubleheader tonight. After this is going to be women's matchup between Kent State and Pitt. Great game between the Golden Flashes and the Panthers coming up later on. We get set for Miami, Ohio to kick off again here at Founders Field. Another high kick. Taylor underneath it. One of his teammates decides he'd rather take that one. Miscue. It didn't hurt anything. Stalling took that one down. Bishio moves that one out. Waiting pot of forwards yet again.
Back up. Hold.
Bishio in the distributor role. Haven't seen Beach in a couple minutes in the game. He's standing in the middle of the field there. Little setup that they use. Cameron Taylor's going to be a little pass inside. Take that 1A. Ripped away by Miami, Ohio, however. Miami, Ohio, has the turnover. They're going to come back for a penalty against IUP. Player not supporting their own body weight over a ruck.
Looks like Miami's going to opt for the line out. They are 0 for 2 so far. They've had a couple of really great opportunities deep in the attacking end like they will here.
If you're on a knee, leave the ball when you're on a knee, okay?
Here's Taylor, gets tackled, just nobody over the top quick enough. Great job by the Reds. They're very skilled in the breakdown. You got to give it to them. They're having a bit of a tough time keeping up with the pace of IUP, but in the breakdown, I think the Reds are up to the task tonight.
Use the line, Black. Use the line.
Reds have the line out. They go to the five-man line out again. They have gone. Yours so far. We'll see if they go again. He's at the front there. Indeed, they do not. They go to the front to Drew Roach. Drew Roach gets about 6 or 7 meters out. Have some runners out there in the form of Milosevic. Milosevic gets about 2 meters out from the IUP line. Players trying to dig it out there, but a referee fight again. Player coming over the ball and not supporting their weight before they try to rip that ball away. It's a very fine part of the law, but you can't just put your hands on the ground as you're aware, Pat. Penalty here to the Reds. Reds going for a big run through it. Fedition is just outside of the line. Well, to Matthews. Matthews has to cut back in. Matthews looking at the line. Matthews can't quite find it. Big pick and go comes from Roach. Roach is at the line. Can't quite breach this try line of this Crimson Hawks team. Can the Reds? Players all over the place right now. Referee fight sees it, but says held up. Going to be a goal line drop here for IUP.
Great pressure there from Miami. Great pressure from the Red Hawks. Exactly what I said they needed to do. They turned it up. You can apply pressure on offense by keeping ball in hand. Even if you're not taking a lot of yardage, you're doing a little bit at a time. And that's exactly what this team is attuned to do. It's what they're built for. You put IUP under pressure. And now they have to kick it from deep in their own end, and you get a punt return. And at the very least, you should get great field position, if not a score out of this.
They do, as Cameron Taylor puts one just to the 22 in the middle of the field. So options either way. As a try scorer, Kellogg takes that one in. Looking for a runner, finds him in the middle of the field, and Matt Fry, the junior from Sunbury, Ohio, with the big Walnut High School, takes that one in. Roach, a dominant carrier for this Reds team. Flips over, we have an advantage here to Miami, Ohio, off the knock-on. IUP trying to make those moves, but going to come back to be a scrum here for the Reds, just to the 22.
Cam Taylor, man, what a work rate. I'm really impressed with him. This is obviously a better result here for Miami, but he sees a loose ball, sprints up, tries to scoop it, just bounces forward off his hands. So it's going to be a Reds put in this scrum, but he is all over the park. To be calling the name of a prop this much is impressive. I think he's got higher honors in his future if he wants to. If I was a Major League Rugby scout or a age grade scout, this is a guy whose name I'd be jotting down for sure.
Would maybe not to do all the kicking, wouldn't have to do much at a higher level there. The ball comes out there to Craddock. Craddock moves it out wide. They've got ball into Kellogg's hands again. Ryan Kellogg takes it in. Players coming over the top of there again from IUP. You have to be careful. Those penalties are just mounting up down here. The Reds just outside of the IUP line. A little pick and go. Rye can't find it. Craddock has a hold of it. Craddock works his way to the left. He's going to get taken down by a defender. Ball still there for Miami, Ohio. They're right at the line. Referee keeping an eye on this one. See the ball just the back there. Players driven over there by IUP.
Time's off.
Referee
Players are gonna be back.
whistles
Final
here
the black captain.
and is going to have a conversation here with IUP. Not happy with something, so why don't we listen in?
We're down in our own end. Our own post, right? 1 off feed earlier. 2 more in this last sequence, and not 10 on that previous penalty. Okay, they're adding up. Okay. I don't need a response.
Okay.
Talk to your boys and clean it up.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Boys.
We're gonna be here.
Pat, you can hear the referee there just telling him just too many penalties from IUP down there. It's going to add up. Somebody's going to take it 10 minutes off the field. If they don't stop, they're going to get it going again here into the big man's hands. Edition gets hold of it. Junior from Cincinnati went to Turpin High School. Ball out here. A nice pass. Matthews feeds it back in. Good defense again by IUP. Players trying to dig it out from the Crimson Hawks. See which side it comes up on. Player does have his body right there. Should be fine. IUP, good turnover. Battle for the ball down by the try line. Taylor thought about taking a run with that. Beach has a hold of it, looking for somebody to get it to. Gets it back there. Ishio going to launch this one downfield, make a good gain. Not going to find touch, however. Miami, Ohio on the attack again. Little break down the sideline. Acceleration winds up into contact. Still have the ball. Matthews has to step into that distributor role. Gets a ball up there to Andrew Joseph. Players coming around there from IUP. And still have to be careful down here as that ball just slips out of the hand and slips forward. Knock on by Miami, Ohio. Scrum for Indiana University of Pennsylvania after a great bit of defense down there, Pat, to keep this Reds team out of their zone.
Yeah, I think Miami may be a little bit hard done by on that turnover down there, deep on their own end, but IUP resilient on their goal line, and a heartbreaking outcome for the Red Hawks to be turned away, spending all that time about 5 meters away, just knocking on the door, to be turned away, and now there's 40 meters of green grass standing between them and the try line, and of course it's IUP's ball too. So not only do they have to get the ball back, there's a lot of territory between them and that line that they were so close to crossing. You got to think, if you're Miami, if you cannot get the next score here, if IUP is on the board, that could be a momentum backbreaker for them.
Beach has ball in hand. Good drive by Miami, Ohio, but IUP able to move that one away. Little wrap around here, looking to get the ball wide, and the space opens up there for Fischio. It's tackled by Kellogg. Beach sideways to hold some defenders in, gets the ball away. Again, this time he has Cameron Taylor. Taylor steps inside one, accelerates across. He's across the 50-meter line. He's across the 40. He's got one player on him in Chris Matthews, but it's not going to be able to catch it. Cameron Taylor, second try. IUP, another 5 points. Excellent work. Good individual effort there from Taylor.
Absolutely. Pulling the old Cam Taylor, pulling the Cam Newton, trying to rip apart to reveal the Superman logo after a score. I just cannot be more impressed with this guy from Natrona Heights, Pennsylvania. He does a little bit of everything.
Understood. I'm just saying, be careful. Be smart. Thank you.
You can see him measuring the space out there. He wants that ball. He looked across, saw what he was looking at. He's like, oh, I can beat this guy. I got this guy. That's just enough space for me to squeeze through. To see a prop completely turn a fullback into a revolving door like that in open space is not something you see often. And Cameron Taylor has done it very well right there. He is dominant. As dominant a performance as you can have from a loose head prop, frankly, this early on in the game.
Take a look at the big man catching his breath there after that great try. To come here for Nickel.
Right in there.
This one straight in front. Assistant referees are happy. Another 2 points there for this IUP team as we're about 27 minutes gone in this first half. Taking a look at this one, Pat.
I mean, makes a back miss in a phone booth, and stiff arms a prop, then goes and turns a fullback into a turnstile, and outruns the fly half and a couple other guys coming after you. I mean, replay that thing and save that clip because they're going to need it at the MLR draft next year, I think.
Excellent work there from Taylor. Nearly set to get underway again. Matthews couldn't quite catch up there. He's going to kick this one off. Chris Matthews puts one down just outside the 22 of IUP. IUP on the move again. Go to the beat this time. They spot some space back in there, but it closes down quickly as Miami gets a roll on here with Sizemore. Good work for Sizemore, the freshman from Hudson, Ohio. Matthews moves it out. Left-hand side there. Nicholas Stannis takes it in. A penalty this time against Miami for a player not holding his own body weight. Penalty here for IUP.
I think the ball carrier that time was held in the tackle, got up and kept running anyways, just a little bit overambitious. And here's Cam Taylor. Why not? Kick the touch again. This time the big fella clears it. Gets as much yardage out of that one as he possibly could. And the Reds, just a few minutes ago, they were on the door, close to making this thing potentially a one-score game. And now they've got their heels on their own try line yet again. And the IU Hawks got their tails up.
They certainly do. It's actually their first line out here.
Make sure we're 10, get your centers back, get 10.
5-person line out. They've got Beach at the front. He's going to
You don't
trade
usually
places.
see the lifters face away from the other team, but you did here IUP. That's a unique setup. It's not often that it's not uncommon for them to face their opponents, but to face directly away from them, it's pretty odd. So we'll see if IUP continues to do that all night. I'd love to hear the reasoning behind that from head coach Seth Irwin.
It was an interesting one, but they are going to have a scrum against them. It's going to be a Miami scrum. Throw was very not straight up there to Peluso. Dalton Peluso was facing back towards his own team, and he caught it. Scrum here for Miami. Just
It almost looked like
22.
they didn't know where the tunnel was. I mean, it kind of looked like IUP thought the tunnel was on the opposite side.
Miami, good, strong scrum. Get that one away to Matthews. Matthews just a little switch back in. Starter play used again from Miami. Working here to platform. Pick and go. Ball back up over IUP. IUP hits the ground, but a little step back in. Here comes IUP. Some acceleration among these runners for the Crimson Hawks. Out behind the dummying runner they go. Ball squirts out the back. Ishio has a hold of it. Recycle this one again. Beach this time. Waiting runner, a little pass out behind. Across the 50-meter line they go. Fry in there to make the tackle. Beach finds a runner. And double try score in Taylor, but he can't make too much room this time and knocks it on. First mistake we've seen from him. Going to be a scrum here for the Miami Reds.
Yeah, focus on it, perfect.
Great break here for Miami. They're going to need a few more. They might have got one a few minutes ago here. Great double tackle from IUP. And then I think that's the number 8 for the Crimson Hawks. Over the top of that ball. Textbook, exactly what you'd coach him to do. And unfortunately did not get rewarded and did not earn the breakdown. Penalty the other direction.
Ball taken against the head here by IUP. That doesn't happen very often. Trent Stalling comes off the back. Looks for Beach. Did that one slip forward? The referee says no. We're going to keep playing here. IUP. 32 and a half minutes into this first half. Beach moves it off to the right-hand side. Gets to Dalton Peluso, the junior from Imperial, Pennsylvania. Runs a little sideways. Have to get their structure back together here. Just going to take it straight forward to the big number 3. Hayden Kovalik. Looking backwards, been a few messy little pass, sets here from IUP, Pat, where they've lost the plot a little bit and lost some ground. This time they're going to get a penalty as well as that, and Chris Matthews has the opportunity to push this one downfield.
The no-look long snap pass doesn't usually yield positive results. And that time it resulted in a penalty a second later from IUP. And the Redhawks opting for a scrum. I don't think this is a bad idea. They have had so much trouble with their line out. They got to put some movement to it, got to put some deception to it, try to win it on the ground and not just rely on the height of their jumper. So I think this is a strong move from the Reds to put the scrum in. They've had a really strong scrum so far tonight.
Just outside the 40-meter line of IUP, Miami gets that one in again. Nearly goes the other way, but strong work. They're going to get that back. Nicuris has the ball at his feet. Ball squirts out, winds up in Beach's hands. He moves it out to the right-hand side. Unafraid to run as ever. Dominic Holmes, huge 80-meter gain earlier in the game. This time taking into contact a little sooner. That waiting pot of forwards there.
Miami backline's
runners
caught
across
pretty
the field,
narrow.
Back in. Big, powerful carries coming in as ever from this IUP set of forwards. Beach quick ball to Fischio. Fischio, will they look wide this time? Ball slips for Holmes. Moves that one away to Stalling. Stalling shows the other side. Stalling thinking about a couple of runners. Decides to hang on to the ball. Didn't really have anybody in that open space. Fischio has to come in one more time. Beach in the midfield. Beach just puts a little pop pass up there. Player potentially isolated. Miami over that ball and will get the turnover. Just one too many for IUP. And lucky break there for Miami.
Nicholas Stanis from Xavier High School in Cincinnati, Ohio, getting over the top of that ball and saving a try. There's the number 8, Stallings, with the great dummy. Show and go. Gets tackled to the ground, but a great carry and fight on the ground to keep that ball alive. And there's the turnover. Won by the number 6 there. Miami needs a couple more breaks here. They're going to have to go for a line out, I think, this deep in their end, and they did. Talking about what they can do differently. I think they're 0 for 3 so far tonight. Fourth one to try.
I think I went up the front jumper before, the player at the front. Lifter, I should say, was Drew Roach, and you see him there again. Decide what to do here as we're just over 4 minutes to go in this first half. Ball up to the center of the line out. Gets down there to Craddock. Moves it out to Matthews. Matthews has some runners in the middle of the field in the form of big forwards. Craddock digging that one out. Matthews again looking to go to the width this time. Try score. Kellogg put the pass out there. Next pass doesn't go to hand. Winds up in touch. IUP has a hold of it. They're thinking about going quick, but do not believe they can.
Touch the coach, can't go. Touch the coach. Just leave the ball, we're good.
Great adjustment by the Reds in that line out there. Finally throwing to the second jumper, moving the pod. Like I said, you win lineouts on the ground. If you can beat the other team getting into the air, you release that ball, you should win every time. If you rely just on height, it's going to be a struggle when the other team can operate. But that time it was well played by Miami. And IUP, again, facing away from the Miami line, maybe just to hide their communication. No lip reading.
Going to slow it down just a bit, but Dalton Peluso is going to come down with that one. Beach puts in behind a couple of runners of Fischio. Fischio goes to the middle of the field. Well defended there by Miami. Ball kept alive. Work to keep this ball alive by this IUP team. Player not releasing, continuing to roll according to referee fight. We're going to come back for a penalty just for the same place here for Miami of Ohio.
That last line-out win really kind of opens things up a little bit for Miami. They didn't get a great purchase on that kick, but when you can kick to the line and take free yardage and give whoever's going to be carrying the ball after the line-out's won 20 meters, and you can do that with relative confidence that you can win the line-out and put that into play, it changes the game for you. And all the Reds need is one score to crawl back in this thing before halftime.
Ball up there for the Reds. Little ball by Craddock. Was able to get it away. Matthews gets it in the middle of the field.
Away.
Craddock again. Matthews goes for a little chip through. It's across the 50-meter line. It's going to wind up in the hands of an IUP player who was knocked on initially back there by Miami. It's going to be a scrum here for IUP at the 40-meter line. Just under 2 minutes to go in this first half.
I think he caught him. Technically, he could have called it a drop kick, but the referee called it a knock-on. When Chris dropped the ball down to his foot, it bounced on the ground first. I think technically you could argue that was a legal play, but the referee not having it this time, so it'll be IUP ball.
Referee fight does have that discussion. Each has ball in hand. Time winding down, as we said, in the first half here of Friday Night Rugby. Founders Field, beautiful Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. One up,
We'll move on this side. Let's crouch when we're ready and comfortable. Crouch. Bind. Set. Hold.
Ball in from Beach.
Hold red.
Stalling has it at his feet. Fischio. Fischio's going to go to the boot. Find some room inside the 22. Bounces up for him, but can't quite get there. But it does bounce up eventually for Jace Brooks. They're just about 6 meters out right here. Got a couple of runners. Beach tried to get that one, but ball seemed to come off the foot of a Miami player. We'll see what the referee sees here.
Option. Even knock on into touch. What's your option? From here. The red scrum.
Referee is going to award the scrum. It was an option as the ball went directly out there off a knock-on, so they had an opportunity to either take a line out or take a scrum. And at their own 5-meter line, backs to the wall, they're going to take a scrum, Pat, as this 10 seconds and a half. We're taking a look at this.
Use the line. This is final.
Yeah, I think this is the right call. I actually think Miami has a great opportunity with this scrum. If they can turn it up here, this is a set piece where they have the superiority. I think they're the better scrummaging team. They just have to do it consistently, both in every rep.
IUP
But
scrum,
also
stalling
completing
gets
every rep.
Beach. Sorry, I thought it was going in from Miami. Beach gets offload away. Fischio gets the pass away as their runners out wide. Looking a little wide there is Dominic Holmes. Having to cut back in is IUP. Still have the ball, but lost a couple of meters and running wild is Ryan Ornickel. He kicks for him. He bashes for him. He runs around the field for him. He's doing great work right there, but eventually gets turned over. Players in quickly for Miami. We are over the 40-minute mark in the first half. We're in referee's time at the moment.
Final play. You kick it directly, you'll have the lineup.
3 or 4 try savers by Miami, coming up with a big turnover last second. Heels on the try line.
And Matthews deep in his own then there with the lineout troubles decides he just wants to go to the sheds for halftime for Miami. 26-7 this Allegheny matchup for Friday Night Rugby for National Collegiate Rugby. We're going to step aside for halftime, but hang on. We're going to show you some highlights from last week. After these, it's going to be UNC versus NC State. Get back to last week as we come back with this game in just a few minutes. Gronwald coming around. He's right on the spot there. If they can get this ball to the ground, UNC players try to stay under, but they can't not do so. And try awarded to NC State. First points on the board in the game. Rain starting to come down here at Hooker Field. Nice move. They've got some room. Bounces off a couple. Does Henry Jones. The Asheville, North Carolina native. Now they're going to move it back across. Slips out of the hands. Giorgadzi driven back. Kennedy fires that one off to the right-hand side. There's space out wide. Will they get it here this time? Little trouble with that last pass each and every time. They've had Henry Jones, however, is going to sprint around a couple, finally find some room, and another 5 points on the board for the Wolfpack. A little individual work out wide there. And they look off to this left-hand side, get the ball to David Scott. Scott takes it in. Bennett coming over the top there. They're looking a little wider now. They're going to go for a kick. The kick is going to come off a UNC player. Puts him under just a little bit of pressure. That's David McCarthy. Benji Garland. Penalty against UNC at their own ruck here. NC State ball. They're going to go quick through Whitaker. Whitaker's looking at the line. Whitaker's at the line. Whitaker's over the try line. 5 points, a minute and 12 gone in this second half. And for the Tar Heels
quite a while.
game is looking for the width. Haven't been a lot of width this game, but UNC may have a little bit of the pressure out there, a little bit of the better. They come around, and they're going to score their first try of the game. It's a tight game for NC State. It's a wide game for UNC, and they're rewarded with 5 points here in the second half. We have a game on our hands. Does a fancy little dance, gets the ball back, and here comes the big fella looking towards the line and over. Looking to go quick here are the Wolfpack. They've got the numbers out wide. There's the try zone, and they are in for another one. They'll try to get the number for you, but the junior takes the ball in contact. A little tussle going on here. Thomas, as scrum halves are wont to do, just breaks off the side and gets shut down. Big bump off there. Hit far back there. Referee's going to go back, even for the original penalty. Now we have a little bit of placement. Troy Blackmer from Saw, North Carolina. Georg Godze headed towards the line and driven back. Just gets rid of that ball. Runners off to the left here. They go for the boot. Can they score off of this? And they have. What a kick and chase there. Referee awards it. Cross kick happens. What a finish to that ball. Runners off to the left here. They go for the boot. And
Immediate success with the win tonight.
Great to see, and it is a win tonight because the final whistle is gone. It is 39-7. The Wolfpack of North Carolina State University has overtaken the Tar Heels of the University of North Carolina in this Carolina game. What a matchup, what a finish. It was just an all-around power and all-around game had to hit it for this Wolfpack team.
Rugby is all about feeling. The feeling when you crouch, when you bind, when you set. The feeling when you go into that first defender. The feeling when you make that first tackle. The feeling when you take that first hit. We are that feeling. We are contact. We are Rhino.
In our game, we play with our hearts. We don't play with sticks, bats, or gloves. We don't wear shoulder pads or helmets. We keep playing when it hurts. And we leave everything on the field. What we wear must be built for our game.
And welcome back to Founders Field in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. It is National Collegiate Rugby's Friday Night Rugby. We take a look at Cameron Taylor, scored a couple of tries in that first half where IUP, Indiana University of Pennsylvania, the Crimson Hawks, beat the Red Hawks at Miami University of Ohio in this great matchup, the first of a doubleheader. I am John Broker. I am joined by Pat Clifton all evening and every Friday this fall for your viewing and listening pleasure. Pat, great second half coming.
Yeah, great second half here in Miami. The Reds, we're going to find out in the first 10, 15 minutes, I get a feeling, if we're going to have an exciting last half hour. These guys have shown flashes. They were knocking on the door. This should be a closer game. Let's see if they can come out and make it that here in the early going.
Ball bobbles in behind IUP again, looking for a big hit on Fischio. They don't quite get it. Winds up in a high charge. Fischio's going to take it quickly. These are good sevens players on IUP, so they are not afraid to go the distance. You see it right there. Fischio's kick bounces up for him beautifully, and Fischio is going to be under the post in just a few seconds of the second half. That sophomore marketing major, West Allegheny High School, touches down here at Founders Field.
Did you say West Suva High School or West Allegheny High School? Because that looked like Fiji straight off the pitch. That was fantastic. Who says sevens doesn't make you a better 15s player? Not very smart people. That's what I think. That was a fantastic play by there. I mean, the IUP Crimson Hawks coast to coast in a flash. That's how much they can make you pay, how quickly they can make you pay. Great skills here from Fischio. Just what a lucky bounce, scooping right back to him. That's slow-mo. He's going to want to save that one and show it to his grandkids someday.
Yeah, for a sevens player, that 80 meters doesn't look like a long distance. They're fine. I can do it. You know, the 15s kind of mentality, that looks like a long way, but certainly Fischio happy there to put that one down for this IUP team as they start off strongly here in the second half. For Nickel to look for the conversion. That one is good. Assistant referees are happy. Kress and Marathi are assistant referees. You look at the try score there, taking a look, Pat.
I mean, just perfectly weighted kick, exactly what you want to do. He just at the right time. He had the last defender thinking he could jump and charge it down, which opened up the chase for him and made him the first one to get there, and perfect scoop and score. So it looks like he's done it before.
Waiting for his teammates to catch up and congratulate him there. Get underway again here through Miami. Miami puts one down in the hands of Cameron Taylor. Maybe not who you want to kick it to all the time. He has been brilliant so far in this game. Fischio for a long run steps in, ball knocked forward there by IUP. The scrum advantage here for Miami. Referee fight, whistle it up and bring it back. So scrum here at down 33-7. Miami wants to get some points on the board early in this half.
I was lauding their scrum at the end of the first half, and then IUP stole it against the head. But we've seen it in flashes. We've seen Miami get shoves. They've just got to do it consistently. They got to do everything consistently. These scrums are no secret. You just have to do the very basics with extreme discipline over and over again.
Mason Craddock feeds this one out. Matthews shows to one runner, looks to find a gap and does. Cross the 22. Barrels into the tackle, able to turn around and recycle. Well done, Craddock. Nice quick ball out to the right-hand side, looking to get the ball to the wing. Gets it in the hands of Bart Delancey. Zavarian Brothers in Massachusetts was his high school. For the New England Free Jacks U18 team. Cross there from Matthews. Curis, they're looking to the wing to Delancey again. That looked like a high tackle. Referee agrees. Hand out there for a penalty advantage. Miami in a good turn here from Matthews. Matthews gets it out. There's coming to try to turn it over. Referee Fight is going to go back and penalize IUP for that high tackle.
Big decision here for Miami. Do they want to run it? Do they want to scrum it? The line out has been iffy all day.
They're going to go. They are running towards the line. They're about 4 or 5 meters out. Ball comes across to Matthews. He has to take it flat-footed. He's got a steaming Cameron Taylor coming on there. Not something you want to see. Ball nearly ripped away by IUP. Craddock again moves it out. Kellogg can't quite handle it. Referee's going to bring it back again. Another penalty. Referee again wants to have a conversation with IUP about the penalties inside their own zone. Let's see what he has to say.
We haven't seen this since the opening 10 minutes, since Miami was putting pressure on like this.
Black one. You're on it.
Gonna go quick again. Put it out to the big boys. Right at the line they are. Miami can't get that one over the line. Craddock looking for some runners out to this right-hand side. Gets to Andrew Joseph. Joseph can't breach the line. Craddock again gets to the Matthews. There's room out there now. It's Bart Delancey and 5 points for Miami of Ohio. Much needed with 4 minutes gone in the second half. Great teamwork.
Absolutely fantastic response. I think the difference on this drive might be Chris Matthews deciding to tuck it and run a few times and make some yardage on his own. This time, drew in a couple defenders because they knew he was a threat. opened up just a little bit of space on the wing, and Bart Glancy was able to dive over and take advantage of it.
Freshman from Walpole, Massachusetts.
Reds, this is a preview potentially, right? So this Allegheny Rugby Conference is split into two divisions. The North, which is IUP. The South, that's where Miami, Ohio lives. Along with Eastern Kentucky, who they have already beaten 67-0. Western Kentucky, who has already forfeited to Miami. And Middle Tennessee State. That game's coming up here in the next couple of weeks. That could be the South Division decider. So we could see these two teams playing again November 4th for the Allegheny Rugby Championship. The right to go to the playoffs, the right to keep a national championship hopes alive, certainly if you're the top-ranked IUP team. And I tell you, if I'm Miami, there's plenty on this tape to be happy with. There's plenty of time left in the game to get even happier with this tape. But the Reds are, not outclassed athletically. I think they just have to get a little bit more organized and get a little bit more seasoned and play some more rugby. This is IUP's 5th game of the season, Miami's 2nd.
Taking a look at the little deft pass there from Matthews to Glancy. Glancy over. The kick was no good. Tough angle for the kicker there. The 5 points will be a pleasure for Bill Griffiths and his Miami, Ohio team. IUP to kick this one off. Ishio has the ball.
You're ready. Old Black.
Off of the right boot we go. Fischio launches that one up. It makes 10 adjust, according to everyone but the referee. Referee's going to bring it back out. Did not go 10. So close. Opportunity here for Miami, whether they want to scrum or a re-kick as we take another look.
It was so close. So close.
This one was close. Looked close for sure, but we've got assistant referees here on Friday Night Rugby, so no doubts in that one whatsoever. This is another break here for the Reds. Imagine they get a score here. They're able to pin back the Red Hawks or Crimson Hawks and find their way into the try zone again in the next few minutes. We could have a ball game on our hands.
33-12. Ball in hand is the team with 12. Miami looking like break here. Craddock steady in this scrum control. Each putting pressure on him. Tenacious player. Walks out there to Matthews. Matthews looking at runners either way, holding the ball. Puts a good one away there. Player hit before the ball. Very, very cynically.
Slowly but surely, IUP cracking the door open for Miami to make a game of this thing, just hitting the guy going for the ball before he had a chance to touch it. You cannot tackle anybody if they're not holding a ball in this game, so just a bad timing issue. And
that might have been considered for a card there, Pat, but will not. Miami is going to put this one down and decide we're going to do the line out here. We want to get into this IUP zone. Start putting some points on the board. This is the opportunity. See big Drew Roach at the front. Curious the jumper. Jish in the number 3. Looks to the back. Now they go to the front. Ball comes back into the hands of Miami, but it's knocked on, so it's going to be in Fischio's hands. Fischio, we know he's happy to go the distance he can, but he's going to just give that one away. They're going to get just across the 22 as IUP. IUP Fischio, ball in hand again. He's got some company this time. Defenders put some pressure on him, forced to knock on. Typically been cool on the two cover this game. Fischio just knocks it on to be another scrum here for Miami in a good attacking position with 7.5 minutes gone in the second.
I can't let it continue with that. But you still have the scrum.
wonder if they cracked out the Fig Newtons at halftime instead of the orange slices, because IUP looks a little sluggish here. Great play there by Ryan Kellogg, putting some pressure, getting in the face of the Crimson Hawk ball carrier, causing that turnover. The freshman out of St. Louis was an all-state performer last year, a flanker, all-state flanker for the SLU Junior Bills. Now playing center here as a freshman for the Red Hawks.
Freshman in the centers here for the Red Hawks.
When you're comfortable.
Chris Matthews is the only person above a sophomore in their back line right now for the Red Hawks. So certainly bodes well for the future of this team. Miami, Ohio gets that one in. Fusion Booty had it at his feet, but they come back to Matthews. Matthews gets it in behind. There to Jack Kendall. Kendall comes in, gets hit. Referee with a loud blast of the whistle here.
We're past the horizontal and we're late.
Let's listen in.
Past the horizontal and late. Good. Hold.
It's Dom Holmes they lost there. That is a big, big loss for IUP. Just
Time is off.
too many late hits, and one of the best players on the field is sent off, representing a big opportunity here for the Reds. Yeah, when that pass is clear and free, not only did he take him down, he might have tilted him, might even be a tip tackle on top of that. Tip tackle is defined as when your shoulders get below your hips, and that is certainly what happens here. When he makes contact with the ground, his hips are well above his shoulders. So late and illegal, both counts. Might even have caught him in the air, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, just a yellow card. No bunker review here at Founders Field. Ball comes out there from Craddock. One player up. See if they can take advantage of it here. Craddock again is going to look for another set of players. Matthews.
Good timing.
Fumbles a little ball out there. Players running a little sideways here for Miami. Just drawing the defense across. Oh, we saw another potentially illegal play there. Players just, IUP just clattered this Miami, Ohio player.
The rib cage is being tested for sure for Miami, whether it's a little late or right on time. Several of these Reds are wriggling after contact. Yeah, that one looks like another late one. Not much of a wrap attempt. If I'm Bill Griffiths, I'd probably have a few complaints on the sideline that are mounting here. Tip pass, never actually had possession, gets lit up anyways, no wrap.
Up if you want, we got.
I think IUP is incredibly fortunate to not have a red card at this point and potentially even two guys in the bench.
Blanton, Tolbert Owens there,
All right, we're ready.
escaping narrowly. Judicious efforts of a referee fight. Come back for a scrum to IUP just inside their own 22. Opportunity for Miami to put some pressure on here at scrum time. Making use of this card, but taken in pretty well. Here comes a little squeeze, but Beach is going to get it away. Go to the boot, play the territory game, take some time off the clock. They haven't put that one in touch. Bounces on the ground, a little step. Albert Owens there. The fullback comes in. Good tackle from him. Told by the referee to release the ball. Craddock eventually gets back here. Isolated they are. Going to have to be careful. Kellogg is good to step away from that tackle. You said it here, Miami.
Just get onside for me. No hands.
Nick Curis in there. The big fella, the senior, Glenview, Illinois. Now they go to the boot, get it down right to the 50-meter line. Here comes IUP, however. Nice run here by Tolbert Owens. Tolbert Owens gets to the 22. There eventually gets a hold of his jersey. Pops that one up. Nothing happening as it goes into touch. It's going to be a Miami ball after a little kicking duel and a couple of
Nice take here from the fullback. Finding some space. Plenty of space in that Miami back line.
There's our tunnel. Hold red.
Just one fend away from potentially touching this thing down. Reverses the field nonetheless.
Advantage.
Blanton. Tolbert Owens there, the fullback. Calls himself the most exotic player on this IUP team because he's from Ohio, not Pennsylvania.
There's our mark. 15.
More from Shaker Heights High School.
Shaker Heights, of course, the home of Machine Gun Kelly.
Crouch.
Something new.
Bind.
You get a couple famous celebs in the tank, don't you, from Miami, Ohio?
I do. We have 23rd President Benjamin Harrison. Tina Louise played Ginger on Gilligan's Island at the Miami, Ohio. So certainly some interesting people there. Robert Frost once called it the most beautiful campus he'd ever seen. Big words from a poet there. cross. You see it there going in to dig it out. Player on his feet. His hand's right in that ball.
That one's pretty obvious.
Use it, Red.
Looking like one of the backup dancers in Thriller going in for that one, making it obvious that there was a clear release.
First knock by Red. Second knock by Black. Black scrum. Red 2. Red 2. First knock by
Knock
Red.
on there. It's going to be a scrum for IUP just outside the 22.
First knock by Red.
From center here outside the 22. 13 minutes gone in the second half. Each a little discussion with Fischio back there. Still shorthanded is IUP, but an opportunity here. Points on the board, maybe on offer.
Hold! Let me call it back.
Early push there from IUP. So here to Miami.
You're on it, you're on it.
Braddock looking for players
It's a
get
free
going.
kick,
He's
so
going to
if
go
they
off
kick it out of
side.
bounds, it'll.
Matthews is going to push this one downfield. Tolbert Owens is going to field it. He's going to move it. Really pass is just not quite going a hand back here. Themselves under pressure. Fischio able to wriggle away. Does a great job of it. Another ball on the ground, but knocked on. It's going to be a scrum here for Miami. Good result for this team off of that kick from Chris Matthews.
Miami's had plenty of opportunities here in this kind of third quarter of the game, if you will. They've yet to take advantage of them. This is another great set piece of scrum, probably their best platform. Get the ball to their best playmaker here, Chris Matthews, with a ton of space. When they've gone well offensively, it's been him doing an awful lot of it.
Stacked there a little bit far back on this right-hand side. Braddock gets his ball. Matthews gets it on the run. Looking to get it out there nicely with the Kellogg. Kellogg's out to the try score. Glancy tries to wriggle away from that tackle. IUP in and over. Well done. Going to be an advantage here, or just ripped away. Referee said that's a good turnover. See what happens here is now Miami trying to get in on the game. IUP Beach goes for the box kick. It gets blocked. Winds up in the hands of Tom Ryan. Tom Ryan splits that ball back. A little loss there for Sizemore. Sizemore gets hit right at midfield. IUP trying to drive in and over this one. Ball comes out. They have to reset the ball in hands of Milosevic. Ian Milosevic takes that one in. Sophomore from LaGrange, Ohio. St. Ignatius High School player on this team. Matthews just inside his own half. Puts one downfield. Inside the 22. It's rolling towards the try line. Is it going to sit up? It is not. It goes in. Tolbert Owens puts it in the boot. Owens puts one downfield. A little indecision back there as Sizemore is in behind and winds up with it. Like a big hit was up with number for his troubles. Not rolling away is Tolbert Owens, so it's going to be a penalty opportunity again here for Miami, Ohio.
Great kick, chase, and effort there from Owens to get down the field and make the tackle, even though he got penalized in the breakdown. That's unfortunate, but really high effort play from him. Miami's looking like they can't decide what to do. We're going to scrum potentially. It was a ill decision. I'm not sure it was the best decision for Tolbert. He had the ball in his own end zone and pulled it out, decided to boot it, but backed that decision with a really nice athletic play, getting down the field and making a tackle.
Scrum chosen by Miami. Matthews off to the left-hand side of the scrum this time. Over to the side of Groove to go. And give a booty in the back here. Doesn't take it. They go to Matthews. They're working over the off the 10. One little dummy show. They get in the middle of the field. It gets bobbled. Kellogg able to hang on to it eventually. Matthews has to step in. Let this should be to roll. Beach putting some pressure on him. Kellogg again. 19-year-old freshman playing well in this game.
Advantage.
Player of the way. Got an advantage for that. So free play here. Matthews gets it out. Big tackle coming in on Tom Ryan, however. Tom Ryan takes that one, the sophomore from Cincinnati. St. Xavier, but nothing happened. Going to come back for the offsides. Going to be a penalty against IUP.
Smack in the middle of the field, so it's not going to be an easy kick to touch.
I think it went out.
Miami hasn't been
I can't hear you
opting
guys.
for a lot of
Hear
anyways.
me? I can't hear you. We'll check it.
They may just want to tap and run this thing.
Yeah, I was thinking they got to decide what to do here.
Work with me once.
He's shaping to go to the corner. Is not going to find it, however. It's going to stay in field and bounce back. Colbert Owen goes to the boot again, launches it downfield. Player coming across, bobbles it for Miami. Sizemore evades a big hit, has Colbert Owen on him. Contact. There's a roll away there. IUP trying to drive over that one. Get the ball out. The hands of Milosevic again. Out to the right-hand side, Kellogg was looking for a runner. Gets to his center partner, Kendall. Kendall engineering major from Powell, Ohio. Gets turned over. It's in Fischio's hand. Fischio across the 22. Fischio's been here before. He's got Cameron Taylor just sailing onto him, but he's not going to need him. But what speed from Taylor. I think he wanted to give him the easy try, so they both have two now. And you see the teammates hugging there, but the try goes to Fischio. And the race is on for a hat trick, Pat.
It reminds me of the old Eagles tries when Carlin Isles would be chasing down Perry Baker just to prove he was fast enough to do it as his teammate was crossing the line. Cameron Taylor proving that he's got some wheels. That's a second long-range try we've seen from Santino Fischio tonight. You get the Crimson Hawks a little bit of space. They're going to take it. This turnover peeled back by R.J. Beach, the All-American scrum half, and he got the offload from the deck. Speaking of Fijian-like skills, and Fischio was off to the races. Identified the space. Looking back with a little smile to see Cam Taylor in support saying, hey, feed me. Reward me. I ran all this way. Give me one. Fischio dots it down himself.
Cool here. You know, the Pittsburgh native looks
Taylor's
back, says, what are you doing? I will take this one.
Taylor's going to be a unit on that sevens pitch. I can see it now. He's going to be the Zion Williamson of Division II college sevens come this spring.
Coach, get off the field.
Assistant referees happy with that. 7 points for IUP. After a little bit of a back and forth period for these teams. Fischio with another long range run.
Nick was good.
Just about 3/4 of the way through this game, near the 60-minute mark. We've taken a look here, Pat.
Yeah, there's just no reds on that side of the breakdown. A giant open parking lot for Fischio to run through. This game's starting to break wide open for IUP. Showing why they're the top-ranked team in the country. Came in the preseason top-ranked. They've only got one loss far this season. It's the Rio Grande 33-19. That's a Division I varsity program. It's a very respectable loss. 3 wins racked up. Looking like number 4.
Dylan McNulty trying to shake off some players. Beach comes in.
Use it.
Low ball here for IUP. Cam Taylor takes that one. Beach has options either way. Finds a pod. Player thought about the pass, just takes it in. Able to recycle that one quickly. Beach again. Trying to get on a try scoring action here. Gets the ball to Fischio. Fischio pops that one up into the hands of Lane Walls. Walls to the ground safely. Ball off to Fischio. Fischio's going to go to the boot for Cameron Taylor to chase. They had this one cooked up. If it comes into his hands, we'll see what happens, but it rolls in a touch. Not going to happen there. It's going to be a line out for Miami just outside the 22.
Cameron Taylor, it's not every day you see a cross kick for a prop, but Fischio looked right, said, oh, I've got the most athletic player on the field over there, despite the fact he has a 1 on his back. I'm going to cross kick it to him and see what he can come up with, and he almost did. Cam Taylor, man, MLR GMs, coaches, if you are not watching Friday Night Rugby, you're doing it wrong. This kid has got MLR hooker written all over him.
Red, get out of the tunnel. U18, good. No,
Miami.
you're fine. Take the tunnel.
I know a little bit of trouble here. Let's see if they decide to go with this one.
Hold your 10.
Jackson Robertson in the front now. Ball goes up. It's going back for Miami. Referee says it's fine. It was straight. After 22, ball goes to Matthews. Matthews feeds it in the middle of the field, looking for some space. Joseph takes it to ground. Matthews again, looking a little wider. Ball goes in behind. Just a bit stagnant. They want to go to the boot with this one as Sizemore has to take the tackle. Go in the opposite direction, and they're stuck inside their 22 at the moment, and just getting out ahead of it. That time through Matt Fry. Braddock again gets the ball up. Double tackle coming on. Cameron Taylor stuck in the middle of that one this time, while Jack Scally takes the ground for Miami, Ohio. Scally, the junior from Cincinnati. Bishop Moeller High School. Loss to Miami. Miami still trying to run from their own end. 62 minutes gone. A lot more points on the board in this Allegheny matchup. Now they look a little wider. Had a player out wide. Ball slips off the hand. Advantage here for IUP. IUP happy to run this one, we're sure. Ball out. Advantage is over according to the referee, but a nice little break there, and another try is going to come. This time it's going to be Dylan McNulty, the junior from Indiana, Pennsylvania. Touches down. He's been waiting all game. He's an MMA Jiu-Jitsu champion as well, and he's a try scorer here on Friday Night Rugby.
I wouldn't want to take him on the mat, that's for sure. He's got some ground and pound skills out here on the pitch. And I would not have wanted to be on his way, or on his way to the try zone on that one. Just a junior, him and Cameron Taylor, both juniors as they're linking up in this pod. Miami having the choice. Do I tackle McNulty, who looks like a hard charger, or do I let him pass it and then I have to tackle Cam? So tough choice there. Both of those guys, juniors for this Crimson Hawks team. Only 4 starters in the starting 15. I think this IUP Crimson Hawks team is going to be one of the teams to beat in Division II for at least a couple more years.
Keep an eye on Miami, Ohio. Another starting 23 here that they have. They only have 4 seniors on there. Lots of freshmen and sophomores on this team. So some growth to come for Miami, Ohio, as that kick is good. Look at the McNulty try.
Cam Taylor does it all. He does it all. He scrums, he kicks the kicks, scores the points, got a conversion on the box score tonight.
Set them up for a drop kick at some point. IUP extends their lead, 47-12. Just 15 and a half minutes left in this contest. And we're going to have a second game for you tonight. National Collegiate Rugby's Friday Night Rugby women's matchup between Kent State and Pitt. Another couple of fairly local teams playing here at Founders Field. The ball comes down to IUP. Wayne Walls took one too many rolls on the ground there. They come back for a penalty here for Miami. Scally slows before he finds out which direction he wants to go. Gets in for a couple, player in, ripping that ball away. McNulty, but penalty against. They're not releasing or coming in from an angle according to referee fight. So another penalty here for Miami. What the decision is.
Sorry, not 6. 1.
Looks like they want to run it.
With the tap penalty. As they get the ball there to Jackson Roberts.
First man has the ball.
Powell, Ohio turns that one over to Cameron Taylor. Little chip ahead from Beach. Beach winds up putting it a touch, but he was inside his 22, so it'll be from where it hit the line. Supposed to be a line out here for Miami, just outside the 22 of IUP.
I've been watching college rugby pretty intently for about a decade and a half, and I've seen a lot of really athletic players, guys that, look like they played some pretty high-level football or another sport that came into rugby and were just bigger, faster, stronger, and got a lot of attention pretty quickly. But you don't always see them play a full 80 minutes. You don't always see them do the hard work. You don't always see them, getting the hard yards. And Cam Taylor's here in a blowout game, ripping the ball away when he doesn't have to. I mean, what an outstanding, impressive performance from him. And these players are a reflection of their coach. Seth Irwin has built a really great powerhouse program there at IUP that should be drawing the attention of Major League Rugby coaches and PR7's coaches and high-performance scouts, because guys like Cam are coming from it, and they're very welcome.
Ball ripped away there by IUP. Winds up in Trent Stallings' hands, a senior from Imperial, PA, one of the West A players. Now Cameron Taylor breaks through one. Pat, all you do is keep saying his name. He's going to keep picking up the ball. Gets it back to Beach. Beach gets that one away. A little show from Stalling. He's going to have to hang on this one. A little spin move right at the 50-meter line. Eventually taken down. Options left and right. They're going to go to the left. Nolte puts in a little tip pass.
Tackle.
Owen Rzazinski takes that one of the reserves, wearing number 17 for IUP. Fischio is going to go a little wider. Fischio gets the ball to Holmes. Holmes back on the field after the yellow card. Pops that one up, and still on the move are IUP. Ball ripped away by Miami. We'll see where it comes back to. Referee has the handout pointed towards IUP. So it was just knock on. Be a scrum for the Crimson Hawks at the 40-meter line of Miami.
Well, at this point, the only thing Cameron Taylor hasn't done is march a scrum over the try line and then somehow filter to the back and pick it up and score. So that's my prediction of what happens in this upcoming set piece. You see him just beating 1, 2, 3, 4, about 5 Red Hawks, 6 or 7. Had every right to have a tackle on him.
Crouch. Bind. Set. Steady.
Beach gets this one in. Stalling has it at his feet again. Beach. Fischio. Players wrapping around on Holmes out there. Puts it through the boot. Gets it just outside the 22. Sizemore. Players just run by him nearly. Able to get the ball away. Miami, Ohio on the move again. Player not quite held, so he got up there. Did Lance Yoder, but turns it over, and here comes Fischio. Fischio shakes off one, puts a little offload in there to McNulty. McNulty powerful, leads with that arm, the old shiver. Can't connect with those anymore. Ball comes up into the hands of Aiden Kovalik. Pick this one up, and it winds up in the hands of Dominic Holmes. Dominic Holmes out of the yellow card, spin bin into the try zone. 5 points off of a little cross kick. Great work, IUP. Another 5 points on the board.
It's like getting out of timeout and just in time for the big party. Dominic Holmes gets out of the sin bin, collects a nice kick, dots down another score. I tell you, these Crimson Hawks could have packed it up, made a lot of subs earlier on, and I think they're playing for Friday Night Rugby. I mean, this is what a great opportunity. When I was in college playing rugby, and we had the very rare opportunity to click on the TV and watch college rugby, it was always Army, Navy, or some of these massive institutions. It's always the same 5 or 6 schools you saw every time. And yet Friday Night Rugby and what National Collegiate Rugby has done is put IUP, Miami, Ohio, later Kent State, and Pitt on a platform. Every division, men and women, across the board, showcased every week here on Friday Night Rugby, and these guys are eating it up. Cam Taylor has highlight tape now that he didn't have before, and so does Dom Holmes, and they're putting on a great show for their friends, their family, both there at Founders Field and all over the country and the world, frankly. So this is what a showcase of college rugby tonight, and what a performance by the IUP Crimson Hawks.
The follow-up, yet another try for the Crimson Hawks is the conversion. It is good. Nickel gets that one. We're under 10 minutes to go in this contest. First of a doubleheader tonight, as we said. Miami will kick this one off.
Jay Beach just pulling it from the ruck, saw plenty of space. Says, I figure my guy Dom can come up with this if I put it down there, and he does.
Well, me as well. I just glanced away to see who's going to be the next waiting player to get the ball. Ball goes out there from a cross kick from a scrum half. Don't see a ton of those right off the back of the ruck. Dom Holmes on the spot for that one. There's some subs come rolling in for IUP. Tough night here. You see Matthews leading his team on. Chris Matthews, the senior. IUP. And with the spin move. Each gets to Fischio. Fischio. Just a little high up there for Stalling. Takes it a little flat. Recycled well. Fischio to Beach. Beach has runners. Beach finds Holmes. Holmes has the ball in 2 hands. Puts a little offload out there. The Sevens is in full flight here. They're getting driven towards the touchline with Tanner Spahn, but he got the ball back there to Holmes. Holmes able to take that one to ground. Spahn's going to come back in. Everybody getting involved here down this left-hand side. Good tackle, Miami, Ohio. Ball out from Fischio in the middle of the field. A dummy runner. Ball goes in the back, but knocked forward. Player has to dive on it himself. We're going to come back for the scrum there. A little ineffective at the end with just that knock on, but a good play for IUP.
Gonna take a look here at this offload.
Let's figure it out. Come on.
See Dom just getting aerial, looking like Pat Mahomes with a completely parallel to the ground pass to evade the tackler. Probably evade a no wrap tackler around the knees. Still going, gets back up, gets back in the play, catches the offload. Really impressive performance from him tonight. Dom Holmes, another guy that if you're a All-American selector or a Major League Rugby or PR7 scout, this is a guy who I'm writing his name down. I mean, I think he looks an awful lot like some of the guys that you've seen come out of Cal and go straight to the Eagles. He just needs a little bit more experience and a little bit more seasoning. But there's plenty of talent here at this level.
Matthews wants to play that one quick, so he puts it downfield. They get the ball in. Matthews nearly took that one away as IUP was going to try to go quickly there. Ball back in IUP's hands, ripped away by Miami. Miami now inside the 22 of the Crimson Hawks with a penalty.
What do you know you're asking for? No, you're asking for. Hey, let's go.
IUP, true to their Fijian roots, their Fijian style, making a poor decision on a quick line out, and all of a sudden they're under a lot of pressure as the Reds bearing down on them.
Hands in. Hands in.
Referee getting a little tired of this here. They go quick. Craddock, the players were not back 10 there. They decided to go at the end of this one. They push this one out to the wing. They get the ball in. They get the try down. Assistant referee said it's good. Try awarded. It is Nick Curis for all his trouble. Number 18, Nick Curis, touches down for Miami, Ohio.
Your subs are losing discipline. Clean it up.
Looks like he gets a cramp as a reward. Got a couple teammates there to help him work it out.
You have 90 seconds when the try is scored.
IUP has made some risks tonight that have paid off. This one by the senior number 8, not one of them, as number 10 for Miami almost intercepts it and scores. And the Reds were able to punch it in and capitalize just a couple of minutes later. So a rare mistake punished by IUP.
Yeah, quick line out. Not working for him that time. IUP trying to have just a little too much fun late in this contest. Just over the 5-minute mark at the moment. Look at the try scorer there. Took him a little while to get in, but eventually he does. And that kick is no good, so just 5 points on that one with IUP to kick this off as game one of a doubleheader starts to wind down here at Founders Field.
We got Ohio versus Pennsylvania part 1 here tonight, and it looks like Pennsylvania is safely going to cruise to the win. We got Ohio versus Pennsylvania part 2 coming up later.
And State versus Pitt coming up. Cameron Stewart was looking like he was going to try to take a quick kickoff there, but decided not to for IUP. Comes down to Milosevic for this Miami team. Ball in hand again from Craddock. See if they can find some more points in the last 4+ minutes of the contest. Ball out to Matthews. Matthews, contributor so far. Miami takes a direct route. IUP players try to pick that off, but unable to. Matthews feeds another one.
Backwards, play on.
Craddock going to stay to the right-hand side. Going to exhaust this side of the field is Miami. Big counter ruck coming in there from Spawn. Sorry, it was not. It was that from Sekis, excuse me. Couple of penalties here. Referee's going to have a little conversation here with Miami. Let's listen in.
That does not matter tonight. Just back 10. I know he's new. 8 ran into him. We're just going to give an extra 10. Awesome. Good, just going into him either, okay? I know, just run around.
Right at the 22. Beach having some conversations. IUP, of course, would like more points. Shio and Taylor in the hunt for a hat trick here. Beach spins around a couple times, gets the ball to McNulty. He can equal their 2 try scores here for both those players. He can get in, but that's on the ground. Beach. Runners either direction. He's going to go to Cameron Taylor. Cameron Taylor's going to put his sizable frame into a couple of people. Eventually hauled down. Ball to McNulty, ripped away nearly by Miami. Miami in there. Referee on the spot for it, ripped away again. Bit of a tussle going on between these two teams around the breakdown at the moment.
Good 40, Captain.
Quick ball up to Taylor. Taylor takes it forward, able to recycle. Off to the left-hand side. Late in the game with a big lead. They're going to stay tight here, are the Crimson Hawks.
Tackle away! Tackle away!
Big pick there from Wyatt Rush. Each takes a little run, shifts it back inside. Volek, advantage for a knock-on to Miami. And according to the referee, that is full time. 54-17, Indiana University of Pennsylvania overcomes Miami University of Ohio in the first game of a National Collegiate Rugby, Friday Night Rugby. We're going to step away so we can reset, come back to a 6 Central, 7 Eastern. It is going to be a women's matchup between Kent State and the University of Pittsburgh. Stay with us.